Fire. Do you regard it as something that happens to other people, not to you? But what if it does happen to you? Do you know what to do in the event of a fire on a train? The railway network is used by some 2 million passengers each weekday, involving over 15,000 passenger train movements. In addition, there are more than 1,000 daily freight movements. Some 460 fires occur on trains each year, and while this may seem a low figure when compared to the number of train movements, every outbreak of fire, no matter how small, has the potential to develop into a very serious incident. Any outbreak of fire on a passenger train that can't easily be extinguished poses an immediate threat to both passengers and train crew. A fire involving dangerous goods, such as flammable liquids in bulk, may even endanger people who live or work in the vicinity of the railway. In this incident, a passenger train collided with the rear of a stationary freight train conveying tank wagons loaded with fuel oil. It occurred in a built-up area where the track runs alongside a motorway, residential housing, and factories. This was a major emergency, which necessitated the evacuation of nearby residents as well as the total closure of the motorway. The situation did at least afford easy access for the emergency services, a problem that can present extreme difficulties in remote rural locations, not only in actually reaching the scene, but to train crews evacuating passengers to a place of safety. Fires on trains present additional problems to those encountered in buildings. At peak times, the number of people traveling can be considerable, ranging from 145 passengers in a two-car DMU to 480 in an HST, or as many as 950 in a 12-car commuter train. All passenger trains have adequate means of exit, but of course they can't be used until the train is stopped. Even then, the evacuation of a large number of people to a place of safety at track level can present particular difficulties. Electrical equipment fires have an added dimension. The source of heat can't be extinguished until the electrical supply is isolated. But if the train batteries are cut out, essential systems such as emergency lighting, public address, and the cab radio will cease to function. These systems could be vital in an emergency. Even a small fire on a passenger train will produce a considerable volume of smoke, and this alone can be lethal. So passengers must be evacuated to adjacent coaches and gangway doors closed. Although what you're watching is a simulation, it gives some idea how quickly smoke will fill a coach interior, affecting visual orientation and making breathing difficult. Air conditioning and ventilation systems, as well as open vestibule doors, can cause smoke to spread rapidly to other parts of the train. Your actions in response to any outbreak of fire on a moving train will be critical to the safety of passengers, other members of the train crew, and yourself. It's very important for train crews to display a positive attitude in any emergency, instilling confidence and preventing any panic amongst passengers. It's impossible to lay down rigid procedures that will meet all eventualities. No two fires are identical, and circumstances will often dictate the sequence of events and actions to be taken. Once the train is halted, the location and its proximity and access to a road or station will be important factors. Available means of communication will be vital. In addition to dealing with any outbreak of fire or evacuation of passengers, proper train protection measures must be carried out in accordance with current rules and regulations. In the training session which follows, we shall heighten your awareness of fire hazards associated with trains and look at the actions and procedures to be followed to minimize the dangers of fire and the risk to life.